Hey guys, good morning. It's Saturday, March 8th, and as you can see from behind my window, the sun is just starting to come up at 6:30 in the morning. The chickens are starting to make their noises, and it's going to be a good day. So, I want to tell you a few things about my most recent trip to the Outer Banks, but before we do that, let's get rid of some of this housekeeping stuff. I want to tell you about new website. This will be the last video I make and send out from my Wix website platform. That is BrentLivinggood.com. If you are receiving this and want to continue following my vlogs, you will need to go to my new website, bhlivinggood.com, and sign up for my newsletter there. So I'm changing domain names, I'm changing websites, I'm changing everything. So you will need to go, the vlog that I do that you're receiving here now will be discontinued. It will stop. It will cease to be. And you will need to go and sign up at bhlivinggood.com to start receiving my new vlogs. So go to it. Okay. Otherwise, this will be the last that you will hear from me. And we don't want that. So go sign up. All right. So, other news, believe it or not, it's coming up on that time of year where the shows really crank up again. April is kind of the starting place of the spring shows, and I have three in the month of April that I can confirm for you. The first one is, as always, the Azalea Festival in Wilmington, North Carolina. And if you enjoy fairs and festivals and the concerts at night, at shows, wherever, but have not been to the Azalea Show Festival, you're missing out. Let me tell you, this is the biggest festival I think I've ever done. I'm not saying it is the biggest, but it is huge, and I was not surprised to learn that there was like 200,000 people last year over that three day spill there. And anyway, it's amazing. It's my favorite show. It's my best show. So I'm looking forward to kicking off the year with it. Again, that's April 4th. That is a Friday. The show starts on April the 4th in the evening, I think 5 or 6 o'clock, give or take. And then it will continue on till Sunday, the 6th, and that will it will conclude around 5 o'clock. So you'll want to get out there before that, of course. So come on out there. The next one is the Chamblee Art Fest, and that's in the Atlanta area. It's going to be good to get back to Hot Atlanta. That's going to be April the 19th through the 20th. So come out and see me there. The Dogwood Festival is normally, the Dogwood Festival that I normally do has been in Fayetteville, North Carolina, but not this year. The Dogwood Festival I'm doing this year is at Farmville, North Carolina. So I've decided to change locations this year. I think the festival in Farmville is going to be quite a bit smaller than the one in Fayetteville, but sometimes smaller is truly better. So come out and see me there. The Fayetteville Dogwood Show was always great. Always enjoyed it, but I never really did very well there. So it's time to just kind of change locations and start afresh. All right, so I think that's all the housekeeping I've got. I've told you about the new website, bhlivinggood.com, and I've told you about my upcoming shows. So let's talk about the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks, for those of you who do not know, is the eastern most coast of North Carolina. It's a long strand of barrier islands running north to south. And when a hurricane hits North Carolina, it is not unusual for the world to see storm footage from a little place called Rodanthe. And I think there's a Nicholas Sparks movie or book set in Rodanthe, and whatever that's worth. But it is a pretty cool place in real life. And it's just where the houses and the ocean are essentially touching, and sometimes they fall down. At any rate, so I wanted to do some wave photography. I didn't get out of the van to take any other photos other than waves that I can remember. Yeah. Well, no, I did find a deer. I think that's in there too. I did find a deer, but I was on my way walking to the waves when I found the deer. So you'll see that. But the waves this time were absolutely incredible. All my wave photography is done at this one location, and there's a good reason for that. The Labrador Current is coming south, the Gulf Stream is moving north, and then they just right there together, and it is always a turbulent scene. There was one time out of all the times I've been there, there's just once where it was kind of flat and calm. Normally, but this time, let me tell you, the wind on the last day was a sustained 25 mile per hour at least. At least, and with gusts just, I don't know, bumping up to 45. I've never seen the water more turbulent than this. The only downside was when I was there, it was low tide, but that can be helped. I did have some trouble with my lens taking these photographs. I use a Sigma 150 to 600 millimeter lens for my telephoto. And while that is a great lens, the photography people who follow me will know that that is kind of a bottom shelf lens. It only costs around $700 to $1,000. And that may sound like a lot to non-photography people, but truth be told, it's a relatively inexpensive lens, hence its accessibility. But I've noticed that the further I extend the reach of it, when I get up into that 500 millimeter range and above, the images just soften to the point where you kind of question whether or not they're actually in focus. Now, when you have a great big telephoto lens and you max it out, you're always going to have a little softening of the image. So I always dial it back to like 550 or something like that, and then you get your sharp image. Well, it wasn't even doing that. Anything over 400 millimeters was just coming out really, really soft, and so I was disappointed in that, but I did catch it pretty early in my trip and started correcting for that. The only problem was the truly huge waves that I was after really needed that 600 millimeter reach. But so what I did, and this is kind of a good life lesson, is when you come back and you find that your lens or whatever is not doing exactly what you want it to do, lean into the problem, and see if you can't find something amazing and beautiful, even in when the lens is when your camera gear itself is just not cooperating. And I think, guys, I'll tell you, I succeeded. I'm some of these images are great. They have a kind of an otherworldly, kind of ethereal quality to them, and frankly, some of them look like they were painted, and I can only assure you they were not. I didn't run any of them through like a masking process, or an AI process where it turns them into paintings. I have done that before, but not on this one. I will tell you, it is common standard practice to change the sky out of a lot of photos. And in this case, I did. For most of them, the natural sky at the scene was just this kind of a blank blue sky. It was a great day. But in terms of doing wave photography and a lot of other photography for that matter, I just edit the sky out and put a new sky in that complements and helps tell the story a little bit better. It is never the subject of the photo, but it's in photographers' careers, changing the sky out is a pretty standard practice. That goes at least as far back as Ansel Adams. And I'm sorry, guys, for you guys who think he was some sort of photography purist. He was not. He was essentially what he did is what I do in my photographs. So changing the skies out, dodging and burning the film and stuff like that. That's all what I do. So anyway, you will notice that the skies vary from one photo to the next, and that's because I changed them. At any rate, I hope you enjoy this. I had a great deal of fun doing it, and I had a more fun processing the images. I still have, I took well over 6,000 photos for the 3 days I was there. I mean, it was just snap, snap, man. So I still have many more to go through, but I think these at least are some of my favorites. The ones with names, titles on them, definitely are my favorites, and are definitely will be available for purchase on the website or at the shows and festivals. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and as always, roll film.